Hello, hello. Today, I am going to be talking about perception. Perception. Now, what is perception? I actually don't know the definition of perception, but everybody has a perception of you. Everybody has a perception. You have a perception of me. You have an idea of who I am. If everybody has a perception of who you are, and they're all different based on what they know of you and what they've seen and heard about you, doesn't that mean that everyone has something different? They might be all similar, but everyone's got something different. So, whose opinions should you really care about? Not everybody's, because that's a huge burden you'd have to carry for the rest of your life. It hurts to care about what other people think about you. It is a weight on your shoulders that you have to carry. I really don't think it's one that should be that heavy. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm going to tell you straight up that I care about what people think about me. I do. It's really hard to not, and I don't think we're even supposed to. Let me take you back to when I was a kid, back in the prehistoric times. When I was in a tribe, I cared nothing more than to be accepted by my tribe, because this tribe meant that I had the most chances of survival, the most amount of resources, and the most amount of skills all in that group. If I got banished for, let's say, putting out the fire as a prank, literally meant I would die. Like, that's the simple conclusion, that I would die. So our brain hasn't evolved much since then. I know mine hasn't. We kind of still have that biological wiring. We're living through a biological experience. That's something that you have to understand for like almost everything. And so understanding your biology and understanding why you do the things you do, or why you think the way you do at times, is very important. That the reason you care so much is because that is ingrained into you as a survival tactic. That's exactly what it is. But think about where we live now. We are perfectly safe. We need these three pillars of security, and these are the need for control, acceptance, and consistency. That's something that we are wired to want. Control, of course, we want to control our environment. We want to control the people around us. And we want to be able to control the way people perceive us. And so that's when people get into people pleasing, because they really care about what others think about them. And, you know, that makes sense when we were just talking about, like, back in my old times, back when I was younger, and how I couldn't be doing like tomfoolery. I couldn't be messing with the alpha male, bro. Otherwise, I got kicked out. I wasn't the alpha male. I was like runner up. I bet this is coming to your head right now, though. If I change the person that I am, if I become myself, then the people that used to know me, the character that they used to know, that will be their friend, not you anymore. That will be the relationship that they had. Now, this is exactly what can perhaps save you. Think about your friends, right? They're very valuable to you. They mean a lot to you. They've done a lot for you. You've done a lot for them, right? No matter how much they mean to you, no matter how long they've been around you, no matter what, man, you have to realize when you are being imprisoned by the expectations of other people. How can you realize that? How can you see that? Well, if you are afraid to disappoint, if you are afraid to not meet expectations, and if you are afraid of them disliking the things that you truly feel like you want to do, that's just not a good relationship. And that's just straight up, man. They were infatuated with the idea of what you were, not of who you are. It's a journey. What do I mean by it's a journey? A lot of people will claim, I don't care what people think about me. A lot of people do. But that's not true. You do care about what people think about you. It's just undeniable. It's biologically wired within us. What I'm doing right now really means a lot to me, because I remember talking about YouTube so much as a little kid. So much. I used to want to be a YouTuber more than anything. That was like the main thing, right? Because I mean, most kids do want to be a YouTuber. That's like, I think, the number one dream job in America right now. I was thinking about YouTube, and I was like, man, is this something that I would like really do? Like, is this something that I would really want to do? I was thinking about like the possible failure of it, and then what people would think about me after my failure. And then I would also compare. I would be like, oh, I know so many people that have quit. And you know what that is? That's fear. That's fear. But I sort of recognized that in that moment. I said, holy cow. I said, this is fear. And I remember somebody telling me, they were like, whatever it is that scares you, go towards it, because that's the thing that makes you feel the most alive.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite saying.
And so I'm glad I did it. but it really took me getting to a certain point to be able to do it. And that was eliminating certain expectations / eliminating the pursuit of perfection and realizing that this is a long process and that I am going to take L's, that I am going to suck at this, that I am going to be like working to get better, and I will get better. It's just impossible to not care. You will be shaped by these people if you don't realize this. You will be shaped and molded in a way that you don't want to be. I remember when I was going to go to college, there was this sort of energy within my school that was like, especially my senior year, that was like, oh, what college are you going to? What college are you going to? What college are you going to? And I often felt embarrassed to say that I was going to a community college. Even though it was free, it made the most sense. I was often embarrassed because some other people were going to really prestigious colleges, if that's what you're supposed to say. And you know, you hear that and you're like, wow, I'm not doing enough. Wow, they're so much better than me. Wow, how is everyone so much smarter than me? How do they get this and I don't? And it just makes you feel terrible. But since everyone else is doing college, you sort of felt like you had to as well. You felt like, well, it seems like the right option, right? Everyone else is doing it. You know, why wouldn't you do it too? It just seems right. Then it came to the year that we graduated, and, college is rolling around the corner. All my closest friends are enrolling into college, and there I am thinking. And, I feel that pressure of like everyone else doing the same thing, but I also felt like the hatred for school. I felt it. I hated school. And so those two things were kind of pushing against each other. People's perception and the idea of success within my school, within the people around me. And then there was my belief and my view on the education system. These two things were pushing against each other hard. So I took a gap year. And within that gap year, a lot of people doubted my ability to go back to school. A lot of people thought that I wasn't going to go back to school. A lot of people said that I wasn't going to go back to school. And I could just tell that people were thinking that I made like a bad decision. The way people would talk to me about this decision, they would say it in such a way that, it almost just made you mad, because you're like, why are you doubting me? You should not doubt me. And so that doubt of not going back to college made me so like adamant on going to college. I felt like that was the thing. I needed to do it to prove my parents wrong, to prove my friends wrong, and to prove all these strangers wrong. And then I don't remember when it happened, but I was just sitting and I was thinking, and I was like, and it clicked. It really clicked. I realized, doesn't that mean that I'm going to take this decision, not necessarily because it's what I want to do, but because of other people's doubt in me of being able to do this thing? And I was like, yeah, I will be doing this for other people if I go to college. And so I didn't. And it was hard. It was a really hard decision, because I used to not believe in myself. I used to look at college as the safety net. I used to look at college as like, well, I will get a job and then I will make a decent a decent living. And I don't know if I'm able to do that by myself. That was doubt within me. And I realized, bro, don't go to college. Prove yourself wrong. Don't go to college, man. Prove yourself wrong before you try to prove anybody else wrong. Prove your own limitations wrong, because you know yourself the best. You know who you are the best. So take those limitations and throw them away and stomp on them and spit on them and just beat the living shit out of them. You have to, man. You have to. You have to focus on your limitations and what you see yourself as. Your identity, the identity that you hold within yourself is the most important, because people will tell you what you are, but you know deep down what you are. In these times, it's really getting scary to be yourself, because people like to tell you what you are. They like to call you racist. They like to call you misogynistic. They like to call you fatphobic. They like to call you incel. They like to tell you what you are, but only you know who you are, and you have to understand that. You have to understand who you are, so that way when anybody tries to hit you with any labels, them bitches just deflect off like nothing. You ain't even worried. It's like you wearing some diamond armor. You ain't gotta worry. That stuff feels great, man. That stuff feels great, because now whatever anybody says to you, it's pointless. It doesn't matter. It's a scary thing. It's a scary thing to start acting outside of other people's expectations. It's very hard, and it's scary because you're scared of failing and then like those expectations that people had for you now look right. They look right. They look like I should have just followed what my friends were doing. I should have just done what my parents said to do. I should, and that's when you start to like fall, like, cause you're starting to lose yourself, man. You start to lose yourself, and that's where it gets scary. But like I was saying earlier, those are the limitations, and you got to beat them up. And why would you want to put a facade on for someone who wouldn't accept you the way you are? If you believe they wouldn't accept you the way you are, if you started changing to be exactly who you want to be, exactly who you want to be. So like, let's say for example, you like to sing. You really like to sing, but you just feel like it's kind of gay. So you don't do it very much around your like friends, but you know you're not gay. You know you're not gay. So why would it matter if they thought you were gay? You know you're not gay. And if they don't like you because they think you're gay, or because, you know, you're singing too much and that's who you are, and they're like, bro, like, man, I should know. Well, you're going to find someone who likes that. You're going to find someone who also likes to sing, and y'all going to be in the car doing karaoke together. Like, and you have to understand that too, bro. Like, when you start to eliminate the people who don't accept you for who you are, you start to attract the people who will accept you for who you are. Understand that, man. If you're acting like someone you're not, if you're trying to people please, then you're gonna get the wrong people in your life. And that's the scariest thing you can do, because then you will continue to live off of their expectations, making you go further and further and further away from who you're really meant to be. This is a relatable problem. This is a problem that a lot of people have. And you have to understand that when you act like yourself, you start to weed out the bad people and you start to bring in the right people. And that's very important, because those right people might need you. Those right people might need you to show them how to be themselves. And they will be themselves. And I know that because I've done it. So yeah, be yourself, man. And the real ones will stick around. And I love my real ones for sticking around. Like, seriously, because I've changed a lot and they're still around. And that feels better than anything. This life is too short to be caring. This life is so big to be caring. And I would be damned if I let anybody's expectations of me, or anybody's limitations that they put on me, hold me back from having fun, holding me back from creating great memories, from creating the life that I really want. This life is just too short. This life offers a lot. And if I don't escape this, then I will never get the things that I want. I will never become the person that I want. I will never create the memories that I want. And I will forever look at my life when I'm 60, I will always look at it with regret. So think about this. When you think about doing something exciting, it's a little nerve-wracking, that you think other people won't accept you for. Think about how you would feel when you're 60 and you're looking back on it and you get hit with the ultimate pain, which is regret. Think about that. Think about how that would feel. Now you got to live 20 more years. You live till you're 80, and it's just deep regret. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to check out my other videos, I'll put them up. I really appreciate you guys. I'm coming out with a lot of new stuff, so stay tuned. Hit that bell notification, because it's seriously getting good. If you guys want to leave something down in the comments to help other people, maybe alleviate that fear, then that would be awesome. Leave a like, subscribe, because there's a lot more coming. I promise. I want to add value. So thank you guys. Bye-bye.